I'm Pat Goodberry, and I'm the Chief Operating Officer of Custom Learning Systems. I'm also a certified grief recovery specialist. Let me read you these statements by the Grief Recovery Institute. Grief is the normal and natural reaction to loss of any kind. Grief is the conflicting feelings caused by a change or an end in a familiar pattern of behavior. Does that sound like what you are experiencing right now in your team? Well, here's what grief is not. Grief is not a process or an identifiable set of stages, and it is definitely not rational. Grief is not intellectual, but it is emotional. I have personally identified over 20 losses that I'm experiencing right now. That was a bit of a surprise to me, but I know I'm not alone. And just in my circle of friends and family, they've experienced losses such as postponed weddings, missed graduations, canceled family vacations, loss of jobs, and the inability to see their grandbabies or visit their elderly parents. And the list goes on and on and on. There's so much that we are all grieving right now. But something that hasn't changed is our ability to connect with each other on a very personal basis. We have that opportunity to check in and see how each other is doing and to really listen. Now, for some of you, you see your people every day, and so you can have that face-to-face connection. But for others, you're going to want to use technology such as Zoom or FaceTime so that you can see each other and you can look into each other's eyes as you hear their story and they have the chance to talk about how they're feeling. As a leader, you have a great opportunity right now to really listen to your people. So what do you say to really start that line of communication so that they feel comfortable talking to you? Well, to begin with, the worst thing that you can say is, I know how you feel. Really? You don't know how they feel, really, because you may have experienced something similar, but we all go through things individually, uniquely, and so their experience is very different than yours. The best thing for you to say is, I can't imagine what this is like for you. And let your voice go up a little bit at the end. So it really is a question. It's an opportunity for them to have a safe place to share their story with you. And here's some ideas for listening. First of all, be in the moment. Avoid any distractions such as your cell phone or things that might be happening in the background. Give them your full attention as you're listening to them. Don't interrupt. Let them finish what they're saying. And be patient with them while they're telling you their story. They might be fighting back tears or working around a lump in their throat. So just give them that space and that time to get out what they need to say. And don't be afraid of silence. Silence can be a powerful communication tool to really show someone that you respect what they have to say and you want to give them the space and the time to hear it. Listen with your heart, not with your head. Don't be thinking about how you're going to respond to what they're saying, but focus in on the words that they're using so that you really get the message. Listen without judging, analyzing, criticizing, or correcting. Be a safe place for them to share how they're feeling. And listen empathetically. Lean into what they're saying. Look into their eyes. Maintain an open body posture. And use appropriate head gestures and vocal and facial expressions. And when it is your turn to respond, be very conversational about it. Ask open-ended questions. You know, sometimes grievers really have trouble concentrating and formulating what they're trying to say. So what they tell you might not really make sense. So an easy way to get clarification is to paraphrase what they just told you, what you just heard, and then gently ask questions so that they can clarify. Now, if they ask you about your experience, by all means, share how you're feeling and what your experience is, but very quickly turn it back to them. Don't make it about you, make it about them. Continually remind yourself, who am I here for? And what are they trying to say to me that I need to hear? To summarize, here are my do-it recommendations for you. Number 1, be in the moment without any distractions. Number 2, don't interrupt and be patient with them. Number 3, listen with your heart, not with your head. No judging, no criticizing, no analyzing. And number 4, show empathy through your body language. Thank you for your time today and for the great work you do as a leader. And thank you for your gift of listening.